When you've been through what I had, a smile or a dry laugh is all you can conjure. Each day of your life is wonder and ponder. Who am I? What must I do? Where should I go? All that I can say is I'm FARRAGO. A smile or a dry laugh is all you can conjure. Each day of your life is wonder and ponder. Who am I? What must I do? Where should I go? All that I can say is I'm FARRAGO. When you've been through what I have, a smile or a dry laugh is all you can conjure. Each day of your life is wonder and ponder. Who am I? What must I do? Where should I go? All that I can say is I'm FARRAGO.
Salute, salute, salute. Man, what is this? Hold up, what is, let me cancel that. What is that? Thank you for tapping in. Anybody that's here now, whoever may catch the replay or what have you. It's been a minute, maybe a week or so since I did my last live, but something was just heavily on my mind, and it's like, man, I got to talk about this. You know what I mean? I'm not good with holding these things in. But salute to the chat that's tapping in right now. Yeah. I won't forget. Queen 88, thank you for being here. South of the James, 88. BJ with the shits. Appreciate you for being here. That's LSA. Thank you, LSA, as always. But yeah, I heard so much, man. Like, and it's like, it just weighs on my mind and my heart. And I'm like, man, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to talk about it. Maybe this is a venting session or something of that nature. But I just wanted to talk about it. So I sparked this live up about mind clarity and direction. You know what I'm saying? What LSA loves you, and I can't seem to know why. Well, I've been told, a few times in life, I'm a pretty decent guy. You know what I mean? Like, I have my flaws, but overall, I try to keep a pure heart. You know what I'm saying? But I was hearing so much. So, long story short, of course, I was on another content creator channel, and I'm listening. I'm really pretty much in the chat, making statements or whatever. But, he was talking about, started out, I guess, talking about the show was about the Bible in a video that he had seen. And the woman was telling the story about the history of the Bible or what have you. And he had some questions, you know what I'm saying? And so more and more people hit the panel. And, I just started hearing just various ideologies and, all type of things, and not knocking anything that anyone believe or what have you, you know what I'm saying? But, if I was a sincere seeker of truth, and on a spiritual journey, to encounter something like that, I would leave more confused, than I was when I got there. You know what I'm saying? Because at times it just seemed like to me that it was a bunch of confused people in the chat and on the panel, just saying things. And, you know, whenever you have conversations about that, you have to realize that you're dealing with people, you know, and I did a live on this about, you know, I cracked the code. You understand what I'm saying? And it boils down to the soul. And people that know me know I'm big on that. So when you dealing with things to where people are starting to question the beliefs, you know, what their grandmama taught them or their mama taught them, you know, but they're older now and they start questioning things or whatever. When you're dealing with sensitive topics like that, man, you have to be very, very serious. It's not time just to be throwing things out there that you haven't verified or confirmed. You know what I mean? So I don't like those atmospheres because it becomes more about a victory than clarity. You know what I'm saying? When I engage in conversations like that, I'm not engaging these conversations to show you what I know, you know what I mean, or what I think, or come up with some type of theory or ideology or whatever. I want clarity. You understand what I'm saying? Salute, Meg. I want clarity. You know what I mean? And most of the time people choose victory over clarity. They want to be right. They take it as a competitive sport based off of their competitive nature, you know what I mean, or drama prone, or you know, just being confused themselves. So it's taken very lightly, and I don't engage in conversations like that because I feel like, you know, what I believe and what I stand on for sure, you know what I mean, it's facts. It's facts. It's true. You know what I mean? We can debate it all day long, but if we are looking for clarity, we're going to reach the truth. We're going to reach a conclusion, not just throwing different ideologies out there and history. And, you know, I heard things like the black woman is God, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, and one young lady told her story, and I could tell it was very touching and to her. You understand what I'm saying? And she told a story about another young lady did a reading for her, you know what I'm saying? And all these type of things. So, you know, people looking for places to put, you know, and things to put their faith in. You know what I'm saying? They want to believe something. Some people have reached the point that they know their existence is for a purpose and they're really looking for answers. But when you get in environments or panels or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? You know, you may take it lightly because you're looking at the number of people in the chat and hitting panels or whatever, but I don't take it lightly because these very type of conversations can be misguidance as well. And in my belief system and what I believe, you know, you will be held accountable for the misguidance. You know what I'm saying? Now, not out of ignorance if you didn't know yourself, but when you portray that you know something and you're feeding this to other people's soul, you better be sure this is what you know, because that person can die and that'll be the last things they heard, the last thing they understood about their existence, the creator, spirituality, all these type of things. And you gave it to them. You see what I'm saying? So I believe you'll be held accountable for what you put out there in, like some people try to say, the universe. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm very, very careful with what I say and how I say it when it comes to dealing with people understanding about their existence, spirituality, religious texts, you know, or what have you, because I'm not here for a victory. I'm not here to compete with you. You know what I mean? I'm here for clarity, you know, and so that I felt like I had to come to my own and discuss some of these things and maybe clear up some things that I'd heard. And, you know, and like always, I'm not here to hold you long. You know what I mean? A lot of times people they will attack a particular belief system, you know, the practices of their belief system based off the conduct of the practitioner. You know what I mean? Instead of questioning whether or not that belief system should be practiced in the first place. Y'all get what I'm saying? For an example, you know, people may see a Muslim, myself, you know, there's struggles, you know, it's called ijtihad. It's the internal battle, the war that goes on within you when you're struggling to try to, you know, hold your beliefs and your practices intact, but you struggle with it. You know what I'm saying? So a person may see my struggle, you know what I mean, and know that, okay, he's Muslim, and then they will making an indictment towards Islam, saying how fake Islam is, not making the indictment towards the individual that is practicing Islam. Christianity, the same thing. They'll see Christians like this, that, and another. You understand what I'm saying? Salute, uprise. Whereas if Christianity is telling this person to act like this, so you can't look at the practice or the belief system and indict the belief system based off of those that practice it. Whereas those that practice it are supposed to be examples of the belief system, but people aren't perfect. That's my point. You understand what I'm saying? And what I try to do, I try to look at the belief system or the practice itself and not look at the individuals that profess to be practicing those particular belief systems. If you know, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So what I like I said, when questioning these things, we have to look at the belief system itself and not necessarily look at the people, the preacher, or just a regular person, or the imam, or just a regular Muslim, or whatever the belief system is. Look at the belief system itself and see, is that worthy to be stood upon? Because listening to all these things people were throwing out there earlier, man, I was like, what is going on? It's not that complicated. Some things, some points were they were on point about, what I'm saying? They were correct about, but a lot of things was truly misguidance. What I'm saying? And one that stood out, and I said that a young lady said that the black woman is God because they did, archaeological findings of, the oldest bones ever is, the black woman, what I mean? As if they did diggings all over the world. What I mean? Okay, they may have been where they found those bones, and the oldest bones was connected to a black woman or whatever, but that doesn't mean that there aren't some bones somewhere else in their world, in this earth. They didn't dig up the whole earth. What I mean? To find something maybe even older that could have been a man, but that doesn't make the black woman God. You know what I'm saying? Like, that didn't make sense to me. But it's that type of misguidance, man, we have to be very, very careful about, because one thing that, my belief system stands firm on is this: you have the creator and you have creation. So anything that you can see, anything you can have a historical record of, dug up, or anything whatsoever have you, is not the creator, it's creation. The creator is beyond creation. The creator has for lack of better words and understanding, a form that's befitting of his majesty. You understand what I'm saying? We can't see. The creator doesn't come inside of our creation, of his creation. You understand what I'm saying? So it's things like that people are very confused about, because they follow various doctrines and ideologies and belief systems. And it almost seems like there's nowhere that you can find, truth. You can find clarity, in direction, and it always makes me think about, why would we be here if whoever created us put us here, but would just leave us with no type of direction to truly understand our existence, understand, for lack of better words, him. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what our purpose is, like, why would we be here? So I know, amongst all of this confusion and bickering and fighting and wars and all this, I know that guidance has to be here, that truth has to be here. But the problem is, most people don't want to accept that guidance or accept that truth, for the various reasons. Some of them, they gain, monetary gain, status, position, or whatever, for standing on what they're standing on. Some of them, the truth just hadn't, resonated with them. You know what I mean? Greetings of Egyptian goddess, things of this nature, So it's various reasons, but that doesn't mean the truth doesn't exist. You know what I mean? What's crazy to me is we all humanity, we all human beings, but we think we have this right to believe whatever we want to believe. You understand what I'm saying? As if there's no uniform belief system, as there's nothing that has been sent as guidance to us to bring humanity together. If you believe there's a creator, you know what I mean? Even if you want to say there was a trinity creator or whatever. Well, one had to exist before the other. You don't just jump into two or three. One had to exist before the other. So this one had to have a time period that he existed before any others. So this one would be greater than the others. It's just simple mathematics. You understand what I'm saying? And with this oneness in the creator, then of course you can look at humanity. There's a oneness in humanity, but we take these superficial things, skin color and your nation and all these type of things, and they're so divisive to where we don't have time to try to find that oneness in humanity. So if there's one creator, there's one man, one mankind, you know what I mean? Of course, the laws, the rules, the guidance of this creator will apply to all mankind, regardless of your ethnicity, your race, or the social constructs wherever you live. That just makes sense to me. You see what I'm saying? But we have a hard time trying to find or even accepting that one guidance. You know what I mean? So we continue to run around with all this confusion, misguiding people, you know, believing these people are reading people and this, that, and another, because these belief systems are not telling you what this is all about. And I done did previous lives before telling you from the creation of man, what it was all about, the challenges that we'll face, you know, what's going on with those that we can't see, the jinn world, the angel world, all these type of things. I've done lives on these type of things, but it's the fact that people don't want to accept it or believe it. They think they're fables, they're stories or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? But, you know, it is what it is. It's not a moon goddess, bro. You have no idea. You done went into Google or Chat GPT and have no idea about symbolism. You know what I mean? See, this is what people don't realize is this. Don't realize this. Even dealing with astrology or symbolisms based off of nature, the stars, and all these things, the creator is not opposed to these things. It's just the worship of these things is what the creator say don't do. He's put the stars out here for a purpose, for guidance. The moon to be a light in the night for guidance. All these type of things are guidance for you. You know what I mean? The different phases as the world rotates around the sun. You know what I'm saying? All these things are guidance for you. It's not the belief that these things exist. It's understanding the purpose behind them and why the creator put them here. It's the worship of them that makes them, you know, what we would call a sin or paganism or what have you. So any symbolism or whatever doesn't bother me because I understand what the symbolisms mean. I don't worship the symbolisms. I worship the one that created all these things. That's the difference. That's the difference. When you go to putting your faith in the position of a star, you know what I mean? Or where the moon is and all these type of things. When you go to putting your faith in those things, this is where you're wrong. But to acknowledge that the creator has put these things here for mankind, everything in creation is a sign for mankind to point your submission, your belief to the one that created it all. And that's the difference. Salute Jay Carter. Let me see. Meanwhile, the rich is getting rich and the poor still ass out. They use religions to promote many wars and call it politics. You know, well, true. But at the end of the day, I don't care if you the richest man on earth, you the poorest man on earth. You know what I mean? There's always the great equalizer. You know, the creator has positioned this world to where some people are gonna be, they're gonna be more dominant in worldly things than other individuals. You know what I mean? They're gonna be more dominant in power, you know, setting up different governments and all these type of things. But one thing we can find comfort in is the great equalizer doesn't discriminate. When the angel of death comes, it doesn't care how much money you had, your social status, what land you in, or whatever. When the angel of death comes to each individual, none of that matters. None of that matters. And I heard people talking about today, you know, they died before, and you know, and the people brought them back. Just no, you did not die, sir, ma'am. You did not die. Because when the angel of death comes, he does not fail in his mission. He does not fail in his mission. Guarantee you. You ain't met a person yet that the angel of death has come to, and they came back and said, the angel of death said, I made a mistake. I made a mistake. No, you're not the one that I'm supposed to get right now. So that's the thing. No one has died. No one has died. If someone has died, then they definitely not telling us about it. They're definitely not telling us about it. You know, I started to address, I seem like I have me a troll here because, you know, and it's a shame it's my own daughter that's trolling me, you know what I mean? But, you know, and I'm gonna touch on that before I go further into my commentary. You know, we will, this is our problem. We will listen to everybody else, instead of the very one that really loves you, that ain't looking for no monetary gain. They ain't trying to put nothing in no plate being passed around. The very one that really loves you. Salute, money bags. But we'll listen to everybody else when it comes to this type of stuff. Knowing your father, knowing the time, the devotion, the commitment that he's made to guaranteeing what he's saying and what he believes and what he's standing on is correct. Didn't go to no theological school, none of this type of stuff. Knowing your father, but you would listen to everybody else. And that should be very disheartening to you. Salute, Yana. Here's the thing. You can't have, there's no goddesses and all these type of things. There's one God. You get it? There's one God. So if man want to take symbolism and call it something, then that's up to man. What one sign or symbol means to one person doesn't mean that to another. You understand what I'm saying? But that's just a level of intelligence that you have to reach before you can understand what I'm saying. But back to what I'm talking about, you know, this whole thing about dying, you know, and coming back and all of this. Nah, the angel of death never fails. He never fails in his mission. When that soul is being told to, when it's drawn from that body, there's no putting it back in. In fact, my belief system says if man is so powerful, if you know so much, and this is in the Holy Quran, it's no secret I'm a Muslim. It's in the Holy Quran. If you know so much, I'm gonna paraphrase. If you know so much, you're so powerful because you got your money, your wealth, your social status, all these type of things. If you're so powerful, why when your loved one is laying there, your child, your mama, your daddy, whoever is laying there and they're dying and the angel of death withdraws that soul from their body, why can't you command that soul to go back into their body if you're so powerful? This is the challenge that Quran presents to mankind. This is what Allah tells mankind. If you're so bad, if you're so powerful, and you think that you God and you all these type of things, why can you not command that soul to go back into that body of that loved one that just passed away? If you're so bad, if you're so powerful, mankind. This is the challenge that Allah presents, the Creator God presents to mankind. You see what I'm saying? These are the simple truths. These are the simple, intelligent ways that the Quran tries to get people to understand that there's one God, there's one Creator that has all power, the most merciful, the most gracious. This is what the Quran tries to get you to do, to rationalize, to look at things. So you don't have to look at different belief systems or what have you. Look at within yourself. Look at nature. Then you're going to realize who the Creator is, who has all the power, and where the true guidance is. This is what, but society in the world or whatever, we live in this world to where people don't want you to have that truth. They're going to feed you all type of stuff to keep you away from that truth, because that's the whole mission. That's the whole mission. The whole mission of Iblis from the beginning is to make sure you don't find these truths. So you may turn to this religious belief or that religious belief or whatever, based off of your feelings, or it came a time in your life when you was down and it made you feel good and it works for you right now. So what? Get out your feelings. Use your intelligence. Get out your feelings. Use your intelligence. Once you start using your intelligence, then you'll realize that a lot of the things that we believe or we profess to follow, whatever, makes no sense. Then you'll find out what the purpose is. Then you'll look at this world differently. Then you'll crack the code. You won't be led by emotions all the time. And don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? I've fell or fallen before and totally got out my intelligence. You know, using my rationale, intellectualizing, ignoring my emotions and using my intellect. I've done that numerous times, but usually it's under intoxication, you know what I mean? Or repetitively being around people that's not focused on stuff like that, that's caught up in what we call the dunya, caught up in getting the physical world and ignoring, you know, the reality that you're going to die someday. And what do you want to die with? What beliefs you want to have when you die, your understanding of the creator. You know what I'm saying? But all praise be to the creator. He always reel me back in. That's the mercy he always have on me. You know what I mean? That's why I'm always uncomfortable when I am out here trying to do this, that, another. You know what I mean? It just ain't in me like that. Salute, salute, book. So that's what I'm saying. You know, that it's out here. We just don't want to accept it. We just don't want to accept it. These truths, what these people are looking for is out here. Because I felt this woman that was on that at the panel of this other content creator. I felt that woman. You know what I'm saying? It's like she really, really wanted to know some things and was looking for some things. You know what I'm saying? But when the blind lead the blind, you're all gonna fall in the ditch. You know what I mean? So you can't go to the blind looking for guidance. And some people don't know where to go look. And I get that. But I just want people to know that it's out here. It ain't that confusing. If you can find a hole, a flaw, or anything that they're saying is the message or the word of God, if you can find a hole, a flaw, a man had to put it together over history or whatever you do, then you know it's not from God. You know it's not from the creator of the heavens and earth. Salute, positive vibe, upright. You know it's not from the creator of the heavens and earth because there ain't gonna be no flaws in it. Ain't gonna be no flaws. And you listen, I'm not knocking nobody. If you can quote whatever verse you want to quote or whatever, that's good for you. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is be sure that you're ready to stand on that. Be sure you're ready to stand on it. See, we take this lightly because these things make us feel good in this life. Be sure you're ready to stand on that when the angel of death comes. And I wouldn't, if I know there's different things out here, or different beliefs, or this person saying this is true, this, that is true, I would do more investigating instead of gloating about what I call myself standing on. I would spend this time investigating, studying, digging, diving deep into the very verses that people quote at me and all these type of things, instead of out here gloating and thinking that, you know, you trolling me or getting at me or whatever it is. You need to spend this time wisely. Spend this time wisely. And even if we go from a biblical perspective, since we quoting verses, you know what I mean? Outside of what Jesus has said, supposedly in the Bible, then what is it? What is it? If you just go through a red letter Bible like we used to have when I was growing up, and you just take Jesus' word, you get a totally different understanding of life. Good evening, Susie. You get a totally different understanding of what Jesus taught, as opposed to when the so-called church took over. When Paul got his epiphany and changed things, you get a totally different understanding. If you just take Jesus' words, that's it. You won't find him saying, I came to die for your sins. You won't find him saying that he's literally the Son of God. None of this type. You won't even find that, bro. You won't even find that. But I'm not here to get into, someone's doctrine or their belief system, because some people are not emotionally mature enough to have these type of conversations without feeling offended. Then they want to, try to offend you, so on and so forth. All I'm saying is look deeper into it. Look deeper into it. Now, I don't believe in the Bible. I believe in the creator of the heavens and earth. I believe in God, whom we call Allah in the Arabic language. That's what I believe in. I don't put my belief in the Quran. I put my belief in the one that sent the Quran and believe that what he sent is guidance. I don't worship no book. That's the difference. I believe that the Quran is from the creator of the heavens and earth and is a guidance for mankind, for the unification of mankind. And that's different. No, I believe in the creator of the heavens and earth. That's the only place you should put your faith. The only one you should put your faith and your belief in. But far as believing that the creator of the heavens and earth has given us guidance, has given us a word that can't be tampered with, now I believe that word is the Quran. And it hasn't been proven that it's not in over 1,400 years since it's been given to mankind by the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. And the Quran itself presents challenges to mankind, like I just told you. If you and all mankind together want to get together and think you can produce a book like this, go ahead, do it. Do it. This is what the creator tells us. If you think you can get together, produce a book like this, you and all the rest of mankind, do it. But if you don't, realize where your destination is going to be when the angel of death comes. That's the challenge the Quran presents to mankind. And it's just not the truth in it when it comes to clearing up of things about Jesus or the other prophets and all of this. Scientists to this day are going through it. And it's telling things about nature, space, and all of this that no man should have known in that time. This book ain't no joke. This book ain't written by no hands of man. It's not even a book. It's a recitation. You can tear up every Quran right now in the world, every physical book right now. It can be reproduced in a matter of hours. Why? Because the believers, white, black, Chinese, or whatever, part of the belief in the creator of the heavens and earth is you memorize his words. So you got brothers right now, sisters all around the world right now can quote every single chapter, all 114 of them right now, and we can reproduce them and put them in a book form because it's a recitation. Assalamu alaikum. It's a recitation. You recite it during your prayers. You recite it when you just making a dua to the creator. This is how this was structured. You understand what I'm saying? Man can't tamper with this. Man can't change this. And that's the difference. Did no group of individuals get together and want to control the people and add some books and take away books and write a bunch of stories? Nah, that ain't happening. That didn't happen with the Holy Quran. That didn't happen. But like I say, I'm not here to knock anyone's belief. It just bothered me and disturbed me greatly to see people speaking on things and putting this information out here when you had sincere seekers of truth out here. People that I could tell was really going through spiritual battles, the way they questioning things and talk about their grandmother dying and all of this stuff. That touched me, man. And I didn't want to hit the panel when I tried. I couldn't get up there. But I didn't want to hit the panel to try to get in some boxing match with somebody about what's true and what's not true. So I hit my own live button. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not running away from any type of debate about this because I know the truth. I know what it is. And my belief tells me you argue in the best of ways. You know what I mean? You argue in the best of ways. In the best of the ways to argue with anybody or debate anybody about these truths, about the creator, about the heaven and the earth, about the prophets, history, or whatever. The best of ways is presenting what the Quran says. Say this, say that. If they say this, you say that. That's the best of ways. Because automatically, if you got any type of intelligence, you're not in your feelings, what the Quran tells you is going to register. And you're going to be like, man, why didn't I know this? That makes sense. That makes sense. No, you can't come up because I'm not here to argue with you. I'm not here to argue with you. You don't want to have a sensible conversation because all these things I'm saying right now, I done told you. I done told you. You know what I mean? So right now it would just be a show for people that, that's in the chat or just viewing it. It just would be a show because I have these conversations with you. I have them over and over again and you taking them very, very lightly. All right, Moneybag said let you up. All right, hit the link. Hit the link. There go the link. I'm dropping the link. But like I said, I'm not here to bash nobody's religious beliefs or whatever. My intent is to let people know that you don't have to be that confused. You're just looking in the wrong places. You're listening to the wrong people. You don't have to be confused out here, man. You don't have to at all. The truth is here. The truth has been here. You know what I mean? But it's Shaitan's responsibility to keep that truth away from you. You don't listen. I heard somebody say we're animals and all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? No, nothing in creation has been given what we have. They don't have the will that we have. They don't have the soul that we have. They don't have that salute, Miss Kim. That which is special that Allah said he gave to mankind, that he gave to nothing else in creation. We're not animals. If you run around thinking you're an animal, then I understand why you think like you think. If you think you're an animal. We're not no animals. We the most special creation to ever be created, bro. Giving something from the creator that nothing else has been given, bro. And I did lies on that, talking about that. You know what I'm saying? Where's Cherry Steve? You ain't gonna be holding me up and the people that's here. If you want to come up here, come on up here. I'm always wiping your nose anyway when you try to come to me with stuff. Always wiping your nose. Just like I used to wipe your behind when you was born, I'd be wiping your nose as an adult. Because you always throwing this foolishness at me. And and it's not about victory. This be about clarity with me. Because you got to realize whatever it is that you take in as an adult, religious belief, what you stand on about spirituality, soul, or whatever, you're going to pass that on to my grandkids. You understand what I'm saying? So me trying to get these things right with you ain't all about you. It ain't all about just you. And that goes for any of my daughters, my sons, or whatever. It ain't just about you. I'm thinking about my grandkids as well and their kids and so on and so forth. So I take these things very, very seriously. Well, anyway, don't look like she gonna make it up here. You know what I mean? See, it's ironic to me that people quote you can't in one sense, not knowing the history behind a book. You know what I mean? Or if you know the history behind a book, you ignore it, and then you try to quote verses out of that very same book to prove your point or to teach somebody. It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. Like, think about that. If you really know the history behind a book, and you figure that, dang, man, these men have did this, that, and another, and they put this lie here, and they created all this confusion. How are you going to pick what you want out of the book and use it as if it's true? How would you know that? Why would you even make your mind try to go there and decipher between all of that instead of finding something that's unadulterated truth? You understand what I'm saying? Instead of finding something, you ain't got to deal with all that confusion. Salute, Jude. You ain't got to deal with all that confusion. You ain't got to worry about no bunch of men and government and, empires trying to control people you ain't got to worry about all that. Only one that control this, that should control your understanding of life, should control the way the government should be set up, the way we should treat people, the way we should recognize humanity, regardless of your skin color, as one people. The only one that controls that should be the creator of us all. See, you ain't got to deal with that. You choose to deal with all of this other stuff. We ain't no differences in understanding the creator, or whether or not the creator got a son or the creator was a part of a trinity. We don't have that problem. We know God is one. Has no equals, no associates, no partners, no sons, no daughters. We know God is the creator of the heavens and earth, so we don't have to deal with none of that. We don't have to worry about whether or not somebody else is going to be held accountable for what we do in this life. No, ain't nobody paid for it. We understand that. We've been given free will. We've been given intelligence. We held accountable for what we do. We gonna stand before the creator on the day of judgment for what we do. Can't nobody be an intercessor for us. It doesn't make sense. Why should somebody else be punished for something that I did? It doesn't make sense. It don't take no blood sacrifice. No, it takes you sacrificing your will, your ego, to get in accord with what the creator has sent. That's the sacrifice it takes. See, we don't want to do that. We want the cop out. We want the cop out. We don't want the accountability, the responsibility. We want the cop out. It's easy to say that somebody else died for you. But the reality is you're going to die for yourself. You're going to pay for your own. I can't walk in those stores, start grabbing stuff, leaving out of Walmart and say, hey, the CEO of Walmart said he going to pay for this for me. You think they're going to let me leave out? Are you serious? And the CEO of Walmart never said that he was doing, I can have anything and he was going to pay for it or none of that. He never said that. It's the same way with Jesus Christ. Never said he came to die for the sins of nobody. Never. But we're going to put it all on Jesus. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. But that's a little bit off of where I wanted to go with this. My whole point is, man, look, the truth is out here, man. So if you searching, looking or whatever, then, the truth is out here, and if I said anything, prove me wrong. If I said anything wrong, then prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I ain't cocky about it. I ain't arrogant about it, anything. You know what I'm saying? Just prove me wrong. Whoever you are, you can hit me up. We can come back. We can set something up, debate about it, have simple dialogue, but looking for clarity and not victory. Looking for clarity, not victory. I don't want to show I'm smarter than you. No, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Because at the end of the day, what I'm concerned about is I know that we all one. Mankind is one. We're walking souls. So I'm going to try to speak something that taps right into your very nature, to your soul. I ain't here to make you look bad or none of that type of stuff. Nah, that's not what I'm here for. I gain nothing from that. Because I take death very, very seriously. I know the angel of death is coming for each and every one of us. Today could be my final day. And I want to leave here the right way. I want to leave under the right belief system and saying the right things and doing the right things, which I'm not always perfect. You know what I mean? But I do want to leave here the right way, And the beauty of it is that the creator allows us in our sleep, our souls to leave and roam the body with the cord still connected, kind of like your umbilical cord when you're in your mother's womb. You understand what I'm saying? Where the spiritual, the umbilical cord, your soul can travel at night. And this is why we see things and be like, damn, I've seen this before. We call it deja vu. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because he allows it. He wants you to see. He wants you to see. Then he tells the soul to return to the body. You know what I mean? It's not time for the angel of death to come yet. Return to the body. then you wake up. You know what I'm saying? But it may be one of those days that the soul doesn't return to the body. Danger of death intercepts it, and you die in your sleep. You see what I'm saying? With a world like this and understanding that, man, like, can y'all imagine that? You have no control over that, man. Can you imagine the power of the one that designed all of this, bro? Like, think about that. Think about that. The two most important days in your life, you had no control over. Your birth and your death, you have no control over it. Because if we could, we'd try to live as forever. You know? One move out here, the roster say, man, every man want to go to heaven, no man won't die. You understand what I'm saying? And that's our attitude. But we love God so much, this, that, no. You know what I mean? If you saying, the Quran tells you, if you say heaven is strictly for you, whether you're Jewish, Christian, whatever, if you say heaven is strictly for you, then why are you clinging on to the earth? Why are you clinging on to the earth? If you say heaven is strictly for you, don't you want to be there? Why wouldn't you want to be there in such a beautiful place? Why wouldn't you? You see, we don't say that. We don't say that. We say the Garden of Paradise is for everybody or anybody that submits to the will of the Creator, that worship no one but the Creator. You ain't got to be perfect, but you at least got to have that belief right. Don't ascribe any partners or associates or give praise or worthy to nobody but the Creator of the heavens and earth. And that's what we got to do, man. So the truth is out there. I'm about to go. I've been here about 45 minutes. But hopefully I got my point across. Anybody, look into it, man. You don't have to, embrace Islam or even accept what I'm saying. But what I'm trying to tell you, wherever there's confusion, God is not the author of it. God is not the author of it, right? We know that. We know that. God is not the author of confusion. Everything in creation we see is perfectly designed. It functions, it operates. You got the laws of nature, cause and effect. You know what I mean? Some of y'all call it karma, all these different type of things. You know what I mean? Everything is designed, is in order, it works, it operates the way it's supposed to do. The animals submit, everything do what they're supposed to do except us, mankind. Mankind, we the only ones don't do what we're supposed to do. Don't believe like we're supposed to believe. Treat each other like we're supposed to treat each other. Why? Because our tests are different. We've been given something different. And if you understand that, then you realize that there's guidance out here, complete straight guidance out here, man, that can cover every aspect of your life, because nobody knows you better than the one that created you. It's just a matter of whether you want to accept it or not, man. With that being said, I appreciate everybody that tapped in. You know what I mean? If you got anything out of this, man, all praise be to the Creator. You know what I mean? Never been my intentions to misguide anybody, mislead anybody. But I'm telling you, don't be misled by all this confusion out here, man, because wherever it's coming from, it's not from the Creator. The truth exists, man, and just find it, man. And when you do find it, you're going to be saying, man, thank you, God. Thank you. Thank you. Now I see why my life was prolonged, why I made it through all them struggles, the hurt, the pain, whatever situations, because you wanted me to find this. You wanted me to know you. You understand what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying, man. All praise be to the Creator, man. Y'all be safe. Y'all take care out here, man. Until the next time, just remember, man, I do this because I love people, man. I'm just on YouTube, what they call me, man, FARRAGO,
man. When you've been through what I have, a smile or a dry laugh is all you can conjure. Each day of your life is wonder and ponder. Who am I? What must I do? Where should I go? All that I can say is I'm FARRAGO. must I do? Where should I go? All that I can say is I'm FARRAGO. When you've been through what I have, a smile or a dry laugh is all you can conjure. Each day of your life is wonder and ponder. Who am I? What must I do? Where should I go? All that I can say is I'm FARRAGO.